Welcome back, collectors. Today we are going to be embarking on a very big mission here in the Diecast Museum. I've changed up this background wall here that used to have all of my Hot Wheels mainline cars on it. And now I've got my Hot Wheel premium cars on it. So I will be going through all these with you guys in the next few videos. Definitely an overview and a quick look. It's maybe not that quick, but a close look at some of the cars, some of the really cool cars that are there, and what is going on that wall. Well, the thing that's changing the most, in addition to the fact that all those mainline cars are now off of that massive display wall, 64 Plano cases, each holding 24 compartments, so that's a lot of cars. And I'm going to fill this entire wall with the best cars I have in my collection from the last 20 to 30 years. Those are going to be the premium cars. Mostly real rider, sort of rubber tire cars. There will be some premium cars that don't have rubber tires. The Junkyard, as much as I have really loved filling up Sam's Salvage Yard with lots of awesome Greenlight, Auto World, some Johnny Lightning, M2, even some Hot Wheels and Matchbox find their way into this yard. This is going to change because I would like to start doing some different things with the yard. And it won't be the last Salvage Yard, that's for sure. And these cars are going to be on display elsewhere in the museum. All these premium cars that you see behind me, well, they came from the other room over here. We're going to show you in a minute. I've made a lot of space in there. Maybe not quite enough space for all these cars, but we're certainly going to try and get as many of them on the wall as possible. And I'm going to take you guys along for the operation with me. I am going to have to move the Auto World. I've been talking about reviewing these cars for quite some time. It just hasn't happened. That's now about a 2021, 2022 collection. I think there are some 2023 cars in there, but it's not fully complete. And I've only got one of each, and I just don't feel like opening them up right now. I've got too many other things on my mind to do, namely what I'm just talking to you about. So those are all going in this giant Sterilite container, and I'm just going to move those out of the way. The spaces that you see on this wall here, those are going to get filled up. I've intentionally left spaces because these are all quite organized into the 5-car sets that typically happen with the premium releases. I've left those spaces because we're going to be opening up some older and newer Hot Wheel premium cars. We're going to be doing actually kind of a mystery box hunt as we go through. I'm going to show you in just a second. Now, where are all those mystery boxes that I speak of? When I'm talking about mystery boxes, I'm talking about boxes like this that typically hold 10 premium Hot Wheels cars. These ones happen to be newer and are from this year. There's the Car Culture there, Fast and the Furious, that sort of thing, which is predominantly what is on the wall here. There is some Boulevard cars as well. So we're just going to go in for a quick look on our way over for the mystery box search. And I'll talk more about that in a minute when we get to the room that has all those boxes in it. But just an overview here. So what I've basically done is I've put 5 cars vertically. They're in chronological order, oldest on the right, moving to the newer on the left. And I've left the spaces for the cars that I know that I have or reasonably could potentially buy to complete the collection here. So maybe not 20, 30-year-old cars going on the wall. I do have lots of those cars I'd like to display, but I'll probably start at that end with the cars that are that old and move over this way because I don't have complete collections that I'm willing to open up necessarily to fill every space, which ultimately I would like to fill every space on this wall. I don't really want a bunch of little spaces. That was the whole reason why the mainline cars pretty much came off the wall in the first place. But I have other cars here. I mean, this is the Red Line series from, I don't know. It was about 2017 or 18 maybe. I won't try to memorize everything right now off the bat. I've already done a lot of work to organize this, and I will be kind of taking it on in segments to share with you guys, and really not until I have all the cars that I already own in my collection on this wall. So that's the first part of the mission. To keep the video kind of interesting, I'm also going to be incorporating the removal of cars from the junkyard here. And it has been a lot of fun filling this junkyard up. It really has. I've made a lot of videos with this junkyard in the background, and it has also served me very well as just a parking lot to put the cars that I really didn't have room to display at the moment, or in the past. I still don't have a lot of room to display them, but I'm going to try my best to get these cars where they need to go with their other respective like castings and manufacturers. There are a few cars here that do need repair. I've got a few bumpers falling off and light bars, so those will be repaired before they go onto the wall. The bigger trucks, well, they're probably going to get parked in some drawers. I can show you that in a minute as well. And we'll see what happens with this. It's going to be fun to change it up. So let's go on into the rest of the museum and see what we see. More boxes. So these are all potentially cars that could be opened up and put on the wall. These boxes are mostly full. I think that's the only one that's empty. No, there's two empty ones. And there's a lot of boxes everywhere, but we've got some that are well sorted here in the other room. And here is the other room with the Lego collection kind of in the center of it all. So where have I made that space? Well, it's not on the Johnny Lightning wall. Whoops, I just stepped on the cat. Oh, sorry, Nina. Oh, I missed you there. Guess she was sleeping down on the floor. So Johnny Lightning, I do have a bit of expansion space right there for what few Johnny Lightning cars might be in the junkyard. There's going to be at least a couple handfuls. A few more Hot Wheels cars here. Some of them are premium, some of them are not, but they're all kind of unique and interesting. They're certainly not main lines for the most part. Might be a couple in there, but those will probably just go into some Plano cases for now. The larger Greenlights and Auto World vehicles will continue to reside here on the shelf as they don't fit the Plano containment units. Many of the cars are just too long. Trucks are too tall. And those with hitches and plows and things like that, they just don't fit. So I have made a lot of room. I've got one Lego set that's going to be removed. This table is going to go back to nothing but diecast. There won't be any more Lego on this shelf. At least that's the plan going forward. And quite a few cases here that can house and accommodate the cars from Sam's Salvage Yard, which are mostly Greenlight. So a lot of them are going to end up organized into the Greenlight collection, which is organized by manufacturer of vehicle in real life. So like Ford, Chevy, Dodge, you know, that sort of thing. Volkswagen, everything in a line horizontally, like vehicles all together and similar models and that sort of thing. Pretty easy for me to organize. I can just kind of shuffle them along, and it's still going to be a lot of work. So Auto World M2 going on the back wall here. There's quite a bit of space there. I'm not sure if that's going to last all that long. Probably fill up pretty quickly. And there's the Lego. A whole hodgepodge of different things. Plano cases everywhere in the storage overflow room. Mostly filled with old Matchbox cars. And a lot of Greenlight. As I was mentioning, Greenlight that just doesn't fit anywhere else. All these Dodges and big trucks, trailers, more trucks. That's where these go. And these are Stairlight drawers, in case you're wondering. There's the logo. Available at Walmart's and Amazon and all that. They're quite handy. Most of the totes I have are made by Stairlight as well. And then of course we've got Plano. Long been a fan of the Plano cases. Very, very helpful. Here we have the boxes of premium cars that are going to be kind of a mystery. I have labeled them at one point with some little post-it note stickies. Shop trucks and thrill climbers, all the rest. I don't remember what year these were from exactly, but probably over the last 3 or 4 years for sure. Probably a few that are older than that. And this thing is literally stacked floor to ceiling. Some of the boxes are marked and others are not. So we're just going to have to look around and find what fits on the newly created premium car wall in the Hot Wheels room. There's my 2023 Hot Wheel mainline, nearly full as we approach 2024. Time of filming, early November 2023. Okay, so let's get busy. Where are we going to start? Where is Nina? Let's just check on her and make sure that she's okay. Going below the depths of the Lego Sea. And there you are. I'm sorry, Nina. I didn't see you there. Just kind of backed up doing my filming, and I didn't hurt her or anything, but I definitely surprised her. Okay, back to the Diecast Museum. Well, the first order of business is to clear this table of Auto World cars. We're going to put everything into the Sterilite tote, and then I can actually get to the drawers and put my larger old trucks from the junkyard into the drawers and start getting this room cleared out. So let's get into it. I got to put these cars away in an order that I can actually remember how to bring them back out and hopefully do a video with them at some point. Probably they'll be vintage by that point. What beautiful castings these Auto World cars are. They really are one of my favorite brands to collect. So I don't think they'll be in here for that long. I'm just doing this as a temporary measure, and just actually handling the cars and putting them away made me just kind of have a new appreciation of why the heck have they been sitting here for so long. I guess I just haven't gotten busy enough to do anything with them, but now I can move this table and finally open up the mystery drawers to put away the big old Lesney and Dinky trucks from yesteryear. At last I can get to the drawer, and I know where my Dinkies and Lesneys go. It's this big old drawer of trucks. Certainly should be able to find room in there for a few more. And now I'm just going to move some box of Johnny Lightning cars I was going to review and never got around to that either. Looks like actually more Auto World. Never mind. More beautiful Auto World. So I'll just put those with the big tote. And we'll get to them one day. But right now we want to get these Hot Wheel premium cars opened up and on the display wall. That's the mission. Now that I can actually reach the entire junkyard standing in front of it, it's time to start organizing and removing the vehicles. I do need to do a bit of cleaning, however. We've got some dust from the cars sitting here out in the open for the last several months, especially noticeable on black vehicles. But certainly all of them are going to have a bit of dust, so I'm going to use compressed air, like a little computer cleaning air can, to blow the dust off the cars, and then they will be put onto the shelving systems in the rest of the museum where possible. All right, let's get into it. We're going to get all of the Auto World cars out first, followed by M2, Johnny Lightning, and I'm just going to line them up on the table here and get ready for cleaning. It's quite the cleanup. Got a lot of cars out now. Only vehicles left in the yard are Greenlight manufactured vehicles. And there's still quite a few, as you can see. That seems to be the majority of them. However, I have a table covered in all of the other brands that I found and have handpicked out. Getting ready to clean them up, dust them up. They're not too dirty, but a little bit dusty. So let's go over and take a look after we do this final slow pan past what's left. Oh my goodness. It didn't take too long, actually, to get everything sorted. I've got a line of vehicles that need repair or tires put back on. And then here on the review table, we've got at least 100 cars, I would say. So let's go in looking at the vehicles slowly by brand. First, we've got 2 Hot Wheels vehicles. Very cool premium Little Red Express. And the Airstream trailer, I think that was from an early 2000s premium Cadillac set. So there should be a Cadillac that goes with it. Got that somewhere. And then we've got an older Matchbox Mercedes, along with a whole bunch of newer Matchbox cars that I just thought fit into the junkyard at one point. A couple little random pieces. I believe that's an Ertl lawn tractor, and I'm not sure who makes that little teardrop camper. Then we've got Schuko, very nice models. Only 4 of them, so it'd be nice to get those dusted up and put them back on the display wall with the very few Schuko vehicles that I have. And even 2 cars by Racing Champions Mint. Really do like these cars, especially when they can be found in 1/64 scale. And behind that, we've got 2 rows of Auto World cars. So let's start here at the beginning. We've got 3 Christine cars. Well, 4 actually. And going down 2 rows at a time. Cadillacs in the back. Well, maybe we'll do 1 row at a time. We'll probably lose focus if I do that. Got a lot of square body trucks, some Lincolns, Mercury Cougar. Well, I'm not going to name everything, but lots of cool vehicles here. Weathered looking vehicles are my favorite to add to the junkyard, and even my display walls really like those. All those awesome square body trucks, and that really cool new minivan casting, and a whole bunch more. And there are even more square body trucks in the back. I've left the hoods open on those that were open so that I can get a good dusting in case there was any dust in there. Check out all those big old Suburbans, Nova wagons. And yeah, we looked at the Cadillacs already. 5 of them there. Okay, now we've got Johnny Lightning. Turned out there was actually a lot of Johnny Lightning, maybe even more than Auto World. That surprised me. Got 3 rows of Johnny Lightning here. Toyota Land Cruiser. Ford, I think that's Crown Victoria, Trans Am. Oh, it's just a whole bunch of really cool weathered cars here as well. Many of them having opening hoods, if not all. And check out these Daytona cars. Wow. All right. Let's go to the end of row 2 and work our way back. A few duplicates in here as well, of course. That can't be helped. The collection this large. Love those old Chevy Novas. And a few Demolition Derby Crown Victorias in there as well. Some really cool old pickup trucks by Ford and Chevy. And rounding out the Johnny Lightning, I've got a lot of these new Ford Ranger castings. Really like that new casting. And the Mazda RX-7. Of course, that Nissan 300ZX. Chevy Blazer, El Camino, International Scout, and of course you can't have a junkyard without a Dukes of Hazzard's car and a Chevy Citation. Finally, M2. Check these ones out. Also really cool castings. Lots of weathered ones in here as well. And just a really nice mix. Love these big old Chevy Bel Air wagons. And these interesting Ford camper vans. Of course, the square body trucks always find a home in the junkyard. And I also really like these new Silverado, new castings of the Silverado. All right, so I'm going to clean all these cars up and then we're going to move on to Greenlight. The second round of cleaning vehicles out of Sam's Salvage Yard has produced some noticeable results. Starting to look pretty empty. And these are the cars that don't fit on the review table as I'm getting ready to do the dusting, cleaning sort of process before putting them on the display museum walls and the rest of the museum. We've got Dodge Diplomats, Plymouth Grand Fury, a couple of those new Dodge Ram pickup trucks, great casting. And as well, we've got a few things left over in the background. We'll get to those in a minute. Some Chevy Silverados and maybe some GMC in here, big old square bodies, a lot of military stuff. In the background, we've got the bigger trucks that won't fit the Plano walls for sure. Some big old Chevy trucks, dump trucks, and tanker trucks. Then we've got the campers, the Winnebagos. 2 trailers, flatbed trailers anyways. A pile of gas pumps and other sort of little bits and bobs that came with a few of the models over the years. A hay wagon in the very back, also made by Greenlight. And a few repairs to note, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to get all the vehicles cleared off here. Still got this kind of rough patch here that needs to be glued down and resurfaced. Should be pretty easy. So there's Sam's Salvage Yard. Starting to look pretty empty. What's not so empty is my review table. Check it out. Just got to be about 150, maybe 200 cars here. And we're going to go down the line. First starting with my pile of, my increasingly large pile of repair vehicles. Some of these are just parts cars, of course. And we're going to go backwards this time, starting at the back row, with the Chevy pickup trucks and Chevy wreckers. I'll try not to go so fast that this is bobbing around and blurring, but forgive me, I'm at arm's length. So as you can see, a lot of similar models coming through here. And that's going to be a fun kind of way of me getting all the vehicles together in the museum so I can actually do item or casting specific reviews with you guys of these vehicles. We've got some Chevy Blazers, GMCs, GMC van, Chevy and GMC small trucks, the Sonomas and whatnot. And the old Chevy Caprice, big old Impala, Chevy Bel Air, and Chevelle, a couple Chevelle models there. 3 of the same actually. Chevy Nova, Chevy Monte Carlo, and Chevy Cordoba. And then we've got the El Caminos. Got quite a few of those El Caminos. And now into Ford. Gran Torino, I think these are. The El Camino, the 4-door, and the 2-door casting. And Crown Victoria, there's the one from The Walking Dead. That's a hard one to come by these days. Wish I bought more than one at the time. Such a cool looking car. And Ford LTD wagons. Really like this Terminator weathered version, the blue one. More Ford LTD taxis and police cars, various years. Going from the early 90s all the way back to the late 70s with those big single square halogen headlamps. And a Ford, what is that, Galaxy? I don't know. Can't remember. Ford Thunderbird, Ford Bronco. Nice Broncos there. Some big old Ford F-150, 250s, 350s. Pickup trucks, campers. And of course we're going to have some wrecking trucks in here as well. We've got short box, long box versions. Ford Econoline vans. The monster trucks, high roller. And is that a Bigfoot? Now we're into Pontiac. Catalina, I think these are. And some more Fords. Got the little Tempo, or what is that? No, Ford Taurus. Ford Mustang, new to older. As we go back in time. Right back to these old fastbacks. A really old Ford Bronco there. Some old Ford F-100 pickup trucks. Now we're into Cadillac. Lots of big Cadillac models here. 2-doors and 4-door. And what are these things called again? Checker cab. Got 2 checker cabs. Some more Greenlight trailers, Airstream, and the little weathered version of this thing. Kind of cute. Really good in the junkyard. And now we are looking at AMC Matador. Is that the Matador? What's this one? Oh, I can't remember. It says on the bottom, that's the nice thing. Can always check. Another AMC, AMX, I think that is. Then we've got 2 Oldsmobile Vista Cruisers. The Plymouth Roadrunners. We've got a really nice weathered version there. 4 of those. Plymouth Satellite station wagons. I can't emphasize enough how much I like these weathered versions. Plymouth Grand Fury. These are the older models. We saw some Plymouth Grand Furies from the 80s on the diorama. There's also some Dodge. Oh, I just read it. Now I forgot. Dodge what? Plymouth Grand Fury and... Well, it says Dodge Monaco. Come on. I'm looking at 2, obviously, big old Dodge Monacos. 3, actually, with my Monster Car Custom. And some little Dodge. What are these things now? Why am I not remembering all this stuff? This is important. Ram Charger. I was going to say Ram, but I knew there was something more to it. Good old Dodge pickups. The Daytona. Now we're over to Jeep. Got some Jeep Cherokees. Why have they not made a Wagoneer yet? I don't know. Jeep CJ 5 or 7. Jeep YJ, missing a headlight by the looks of it. Some old Army Jeeps, those are the old ones. Oh, there we got another CJ. The Postal version. CJ Postal, I think that is. A couple Austin Minis, a weird old tractor. And some Volkswagen Rabbits. Is that what they are? I think these are Rabbit. Volkswagen Beetle. Golf GTI, my mistake. These are Golf GTI. Volkswagen Beetle. The Transporter. Really nice weathered Volkswagen van. Volkswagen Thing. And now into some Datsuns. These are Datsun. Yeah, 510, of course. And a single Toyota. So all of these vehicles I gotta clean up with my air cans. And then we're gonna take them over to the Plano walls, which I've been doing with the last table horde of cars that we looked at. And I'll give you a brief look at all that when I'm done here. A fresh, clean slate for the junkyard area. It doesn't necessarily need to be a junkyard, but it is completely cleared off other than just a few cars that I wanted to just kind of keep there to remind myself of just how cool the junkyard was and could be again if I desired. For now, just a few interesting old weathered vehicles for background display. Kind of the last relics that got missed perhaps during the clean out and clean up. I went through about 3 cans of compressed air, dusting the cars. They weren't filthy dirty, but they were just a little bit dusty. Want them all to be nice and shiny before going on the Plano display walls. So we're going to leave the Hot Wheels room and go to the Diecast Museum where all these cars got sorted. Best I can figure, probably about 75 to 100 Johnny Lightnings were added. I actually filled up 3 full Plano cases, and every single car on this wall, which are all Johnny Lightning, sorted by manufacturer type of vehicle, every single one basically got moved from where they were resting originally and shuffled along and over so that I could fit the 75 new additions to the display wall, which also involved a little bit of a cleanup as well, just a little bit, because really the cars don't get all that dusty on the Plano display wall. By the very nature of the little cubbies, they're all pretty well sheltered from vertically dropping dust. So, and there's no real wind-blown dust here in the museum. And the shelf got sorted as well. All the longest vehicles and largest ones that don't fit in the Plano case got put on the shelf here, kind of parked in sort of a nice little fashion where I can see them all. But the main work was refilling this whole empty section of the wall that originally held Hot Wheels Premium and sorting all the green light along, because I have them, again, by manufacturer, so Ford trucks all the way around the room now. Ford goes into Ford anyways, for the most part. The most desirable spots on the Plano cases are these taller cubbies where you can put the longer vehicles in on an angle that just don't fit in the shorter cubbies. That is usually the main sort of reason why vehicles end up where they do, because I like to keep all the vehicles by like manufacturer for the most part together. So we got Chevy square body trucks, Chevy El Caminos, Chevy S10s and Sonomas, GMC and Chevy I mix together. We got a blank spot here, and then it's like Ford trucks, more Ford trucks, and got some extra Chevy vans that didn't fit in my Chevy cubbies down below because I didn't have any more big spaces for them. And then we're up into like Dodge, Chrysler, or Dodge Plymouth, Chrysler, and that sort of thing. Anyways, I'm going to take you guys along for an interesting, I haven't really decided how I'm going to do this. I don't want to do just a on the wall kind of scan because it can be a little bit rushed and confusing seeming, but look at how many green lights are on this wall now. Again, almost every single one of these cars had to be moved and sorted, as I also put the vehicles in chronological order best I can. So like old Broncos to new Broncos, and above that even newer Broncos. So as you can see, it's quite a sort. And the same thing happened for the Auto World, the M2, the Schuko, and everything else. This all had to get moved around because I've got many brands on this wall, and I want to actually put the brand of the diecast manufacturer along with sorting the brand of the vehicles depicted. So it got pretty heavy in the sort as far as getting M2 down below. There's a band of Auto World, and then above that, more M2, and then just a whole bunch of random stuff over towards the end, including those Schuko vehicles somewhere in here. Even the teardrop trailer made it over here. So quite a lot of work. And I don't know if it's really work. It was quite fun, but it took a lot of time. So what you guys have seen in about a 30-minute video here today took me probably about 15 hours. Was hoping to get this video out for the weekend, but I think I'm just going to drop it midweek here and move along with something new, something exciting. Hope you enjoyed this sort of video log of my adventure, and I'll see you soon. Happy hunting.